Hey guys, welcome back to Clownfish TV. This is Kneon. I am here with Geeky Sparkles.
Hello.
And we're going to talk about something a little different, I think. We're going to talk about why so many companies are reluctant to come out and say that they want to be apolitical. They're certainly not going to come out and pick a side, a certain side.
No, that's not true. A lot of companies are making sure they make some kind of big, giant gesture of whatever.
Like I said, a certain side. They will come out publicly in support one side of the political aisle. They will not come out in support of the other because they know what happens. They know that there will be severe backlash, not necessarily from the public, but from their peers, from the media, and from Twitter. So we're going to take a look at Coinbase. Now, I have been sort of following this story off and on, and Coinbase, which for those of you that aren't familiar, they deal with cryptocurrency, and they're kind of like a PayPal for cryptocurrency.
Yeah, I wasn't familiar with them.
Yeah, and the CEO came out over the summer, and of course, you're going to get pressure being a CEO of any company that has any sort of reach at all. And he basically said, our company is going to be apolitical. We're not going to get involved in politics. We don't want our employees publicly getting involved in political discussions. We don't want them fighting at the office. We're here to make money, and we're here to make money for our investors, and that's that. And apparently a lot of people have been leaving. People have been calling for this guy's ousting.
Right, because like when I go to do anything online or brush my teeth in the morning, my first thought is, gee whiz, I really want to know how politically this toothpaste company stands. Oh, it's time for my morning coffee. And, I can't drink coffee unless I know that they have made the proper, appeasement gestures online to make sure that, the right people are the ones that they're following, according to my opinion.
Well, and that's just it. And there are people keeping score. I mean, I'm
not the ones that stay at home with no life. Literally, what do you do all day?
There are people keeping score because, if you have like a mom and pop shop, I don't think anybody is expecting you to make some big, grandiose political gesture. But if you have any kind of a platform, if you're a tech company, if you're a publisher, if you're a game developer, if you're anything associated with the media, there literally are people on Twitter keeping tabs of who is and is not making overt political gestures online. And I'm going to tell you, a lot of those political gestures on Twitter were made out of fear.
I was just going to say, maybe it's time to support the mom and pop shops.
Well, maybe it is. Maybe that's what's going to happen because these companies are buckling. And I do know that if you don't make that gesture, talking to people back channel, I'm not going to say who, but there are certain companies that they have pressure put on them to come out, and pick a side politically.
But it's only on certain things.
Yes.
So it's really it's a lot of bullshit is what it is. It's a lot of talk. Doesn't mean you actually believe it. Doesn't mean you're actually going to do anything. It's a lot of I'm just tired of it, and I'm sorry for all the accusations of racism, sexism, isms, and phobes and all that. I'm seeing a definite lean towards something. I'm definitely seeing some isms.
So we're going to talk about that because this kind of goes along with what I talked about yesterday with the gaming companies, that there's being pressure put on them to pick a side, even though it up until recently it wasn't a company's job or responsibility, like you said, toothpaste company or coffee company, to tell you what to think.
I don't want to constantly be hit over the head with it. I don't want every TV show, every game I play, every magazine I look at, every website I visit. I don't want to have to be told what I should think every time. And quite frankly, if you're going to sit there and tell me that and make the assumptions that I need you to tell me that because I'm a bad person unless you do, I'm probably not going to support your product.
Well, now he came out over the summer. We're going to talk about that. And he's actually offering generous severance packages to people who want to quit because they want to be activists. He basically said, I don't care what you believe. I just don't want you guys fighting, and I don't want you out there trash talking our customers. Pretty reasonable. I think this kind of goes along with what Alterna Comics was doing, but that's not allowed.
Well, he's talking to you about internal strife.
Yeah, so this is Coinbase CEO Brian Armstrong told employees the company would offer severance packages for those who leave after he discouraged employee activism and political discussions at work.
I don't disagree. It just leads to fighting. You don't get your damn work done. If you're on Twitter all day searching for people for outright Yahtzees to learn, you're not doing your damn job. If you're at work, too busy trying to see what everybody else is voting and where they're looking on their computers and what politics they have, you're not doing your damn job.
He points to internal strife at Silicon Valley companies that engage in a wide variety of social activism, even those unrelated to what the company does.
Just like I said, it's stupid. Do your damn job.
While I think these efforts are well-intentioned, they have the potential to destroy a lot of value at most companies, both by being a distraction and by creating internal division.
Yeah.
He's basically offering to pay. So this is the thing. He's not just like kicking these people to the curb. Now, look at Red Bull. Red Bull was like, yeah, you're not going to commandeer our platform for politics, and we're going to kick you all out the damn
Warner
door.
Media is flat out saying if they find anything that they think is a problematic thing, now of course they're leaning more the other way, but they're basically saying they're going to kick you out the door, flat out, and if you don't like it, then you can leave. They basically said that, which is their, they have the right to say it, just like he has the right to say, if you I don't want this in the work, if you don't like it, you can leave, and he's actually at least giving them something to do so.
Right, but they're still complaining.
Of course they are.
Yeah, so he's offering to pay employees who decide to quit the cryptocurrency company after it discouraged employee activism and discussing in politics and social issues. At work.
He doesn't care if you do it at home.
Yeah,
he's saying don't do it at work.
You want to go protest on the weekends, that's your business. But if you're on company time and the company is paying you for your time, they expect you to be focused on making money.
Could you imagine if every time you went to someplace like McDonald's and you tried to order food, but you couldn't because the employees are too busy sitting there on Twitter or something with their activism, or they're trying to talk to you about their activism when you ordered food? Do you think they'd have a job very long?
Where's your bumper sticker? Where's your bumper sticker? I need to know what kind of person you are to see whether or not I'm going to spit in your hamburger.
Like, do you think this would fly in most other industries?
No.
Like, you work at a grocery store, but you have to be told not to approach customers, and you better not be on your phone working on, looking for your social activism and stuff at work during work hours, or harassing your other coworkers. Or if you were a teacher in a school or whatever, and you would do these things, you would be in big trouble. So it makes sense to say, hey, I don't care how you vote. I don't care what activism you do. That's your business. Mm. You just don't do it on business time. That's a fair request.
Not in Silicon Valley, not in Los Angeles, not in Hollywood.
Well, that's why California's turning into a piece of shit dumpster fire.
Yeah, pretty much. This is coming from somebody who spent half his childhood living in California.
I know people from California. They'll tell you the same damn thing.
They're moving. We've got friends, lifelong Californians, who are coming to us and saying, hey, we're moving.
I know many who are, even the ones that are sticking it out right now, who are not happy with the way things are going in California. And it has nothing to do with their political leanings. It's because it's turned into such a shithole over all this political bullshit.
CEO Brian Armstrong told Coinbase staff in an email that the company would offer severance packages for anyone who doesn't feel comfortable with this new direction. Basically business as usual, right? That's how things work.
It's not a new direction. That's how it is. How is this a new direction?
Because it's Silicon Valley. You're not allowed to be neutral. The pay packages range from 4 to 6 months. My God, that's generous. Depending on how long an employee had been with the company, life is too short to work at a company you aren't excited about. Hopefully this package helps create a win-win outcome for those who choose to opt out.
Meanwhile, Disney has people that are furloughed, have been furloughed, and they're basically told they go find another job before their official layoff date. They don't get any of their severance.
But Disney is very, very vocal in its political messaging.
No, but I'm saying the fact that they're given 4 to 6 months.
Yeah.
I'm like, you had a job that should have had severance because it was a salaried position. It was supposed to have that. And the company turned around, laid you off, and then didn't even give you anything. That they gave no severance, nothing. After several years of being there. Yeah,
I was actually management. I was like one step removed from the top of the food chain, and I got nothing. I should have had a contract. I didn't have a contract, but there's another company I worked for that I'd gotten laid off from several years before, and I was definitely middle rung, and I got a severance from them.
Right.
So,
it's when you're like, unfortunately, marketing is one of the first things all these companies cut, which isn't the smartest thing to do, but they do. But my point is, that's actually very, very, very nice. All because, like most every other company, which is we're not going to be doing politics during work.
Right, which this
2020, I can't even.
This used to be normal. So Armstrong said the company won't debate causes or political candidates internally and will not engage when the issues are unrelated to our core mission because we believe impact only comes with focus. The cryptocurrency company is laser focused on the use of digital currencies and profits. He said internal strife at Silicon Valley giants such as Google and Facebook because they engage in a wide variety of social activism, even those unrelated to what the company does. That's it. I mean, they're spending all day, like you said, looking for Nazis behind every bush.
And he is a co-founder of the company.
Yeah.
Okay, so he actually started the damn company. Okay.
Yeah. Now he said back in June, he said that I've decided to speak up. It's a shame that this even needs to be said in this day and age, but racism, police brutality, and unequal justice are unequivocally wrong.
Agree, 100%.
And we need to all work to eliminate them.
100% agree.
Well, I don't think crypto can solve everything in the world, but one way it can help is by creating more economic freedom for everyone, including Black Americans. Black Americans have unequal access to financial services. So he did put out a statement.
He's a blue check, he had to.
But it wasn't enough.
I think that was a pretty fair statement. I mean, at least the first comment, 100% agree. Changes need to be made. I think most everyone understands and agrees with that. That's not the issue. But continue.
Yeah, and there were people that were applauding his stance. He said, basically, we're not going to get wrapped up in politics. We did say that we don't agree with what's going on in the world right now. And I think that was a very well thought out, well presented statement.
Fair statement, yeah.
But because he said we don't want our company to get mired down in politics day after day after day after day, we want to focus on making money for everyone, regardless of your skin color, regardless of your gender.
You're not allowed to say that. You're only allowed to say you're only worried about making money for Black people.
No.
I'm just going to say it flat out because that's what it is. I'm tired of beating around the bush and dancing around it. That's what it is. At the end of the day, that's what it is. Because the internet is so obsessed with this BLM movement that because he didn't say that specifically, even though he kind of did, that's a problem.
Yeah.
He did.
But of course, Twitter's not happy, and this is why people are like, why don't more companies just stay neutral? Why do they have to throw in one side or the other? Mostly one side. Why do they do that? Why do they put on such a show?
They should stay neutral if they were smart. But anyway,
why do they put on such a show? Is it because they personally believe it? No, it's because they're afraid of the Twitter outrage mob. They know if they don't constantly, every day, put out the right message to appease Twitter, which doesn't even spend money 95% of the time.
It's true.
Because you look at what happens. Twitter gives you all kinds of, upvotes and claps and, yes, queens. And then you watch what happens when the general public that's not on Twitter sees, the messaging or whatever. A lot of times the sales drop because they're so focused on politics.
I keep saying this. Twitter is not the reality of the general people.
No.
It is the extremists, both extremes usually, but more so towards the one side that come out on there, and they're the ones pushing for everything. But you ask majority of people, they don't even go to Twitter. It was so bad Disney wouldn't even buy it because it was toxic. Okay? Yeah. It was so bad Disney wouldn't even touch it.
So now the blowback. So now we've got people leaving. They have their senior software guy leaving this week. That's why this story has come up again. But I'm sure he got a generous severance package, which the company really doesn't have to do unless he had a contract that said, just because we don't want you, which I don't understand. What is... He gave a message. He gave a little spiel.
He already did he already put the thing out there, and he did give the message.
Yeah, and he's like, I just don't want us to get mired down in politics every damn day.
No. What it was you're at work, do your job. It has nothing to do with that. Don't be doing stupid activism, which means don't be on Twitter all damn day.
Right.
Do your job. That's what you're here for. Which is a fair thing to say. If you're at work, you do your work. That's a fair thing to say. And no, how dare you? You can be an activist. That's fine. Just do it when you're not at work. 60 people left.
60 people left the company because they weren't allowed to be activists at work.
At work.
Which is probably, I'm sure, Silicon Valley, for a company like Coinbase, I'm sure they're getting decent six-figure salaries. But because they weren't allowed to constantly tweet activism messages.
But of this is only 5% of the company.
Yeah.
It's not like it's a very big part. They're not mentioning that, which is, it's a tiny part of the company who did this.
Yeah, so they want to sensationalize it, like all these people are jumping ship.
They didn't.
But that shows it really where the country is, because there was that study that was done like a year or so ago that said that only 8% of the country is the Twitter crowd, the Portland crowd. There's like 80%. Then you've got like 20% that are far right, and then you've got
it was like 20%. I think it was like 20% total between the far left and right, and majority of them being left on social media. And then the rest of the country is just like neither of those extremes.
The tired middle is what they call it.
Yeah, the tired middle who's tired of both your shit.
But again, now we've got Serena Williams. So she's not investing in Coinbase now because of this. Apparently, she had a stake in the company. They said that a Business Insider reported late Monday the website of Williams' venture firm no longer displays Coinbase.
You know what? I guarantee you they're going to have no problem picking up other investors.
So this is the thing. What's going to happen are people going to start getting more of a backbone, being like, look, we're not in the business of activism. We'll give money to causes as we see fit, but really we're here to make money for our customers, to make money.
That's what our mission is. That's what our job is. What you do, like if you have a hobby, you're a hobby. How many times are you allowed to work to watch movies or do things that aren't your job? You're not. So why the flip would you think you're allowed to go be an activist during work hours? That doesn't fly in most of the world, most of the country. Places aren't going to be like, I'm not hiring you to sit here and be on Twitter looking for upvotes and making a list who didn't tweet the right things this week.
Yeah, and that's it, because younger generation, a lot of these people, and especially like in comics and game development, where I guess the rules are a little more lax, they seem to think that they should be allowed to do this on company time. And, I've worked jobs before where I wasn't even allowed to use the bathroom until it was bathroom time.
I wasn't allowed to call you unless it was an emergency.
Oh, yeah. The one company I worked for, it was like you were not allowed to take personal calls. And there was really no reason for it, because it wasn't like we were constantly busy or anything. But they didn't want you on the phone unless, and it was in the handbook, unless it was an absolute emergency.
So they sure as hell don't have time for you to be on the internet all day, social activism.
Yeah.
This is just dumb. This is just common sense. And the fact that this is even a thing is a problem. And like you said about the gaming companies and stuff, trying to police stuff. Do you like staying in business? It might behoove you to do your damn job and not try to police everybody else, because unless you're talking, a really egregious behavior on either extreme, I totally see why you would want to put a stop to that if it's really egregious and it's really dangerous and threatening to other people and it's on, either extreme, not just one, either. I can see that. But for the most part, it's not your job to police people. Do you want to make money? Because if people don't feel like they can play and have fun because they're too busy worried that they might say the wrong thing that might be misconstrued, like that joke where it's like, I like apples. Well, what about kumquats? What about whatever? That just means you hate all this other fruit. Educate yourself. It's like, I just say I don't like apples, or I like apples or whatever. And it's like, that's how it is. And someone might say something innocently and it's going to be misconstrued. And next thing you know, they're kicked off the server because they said something innocent. Like, I like fried chicken, and that becomes a big thing because how dare you? Are you insulting people because you like fried chicken? Yeah. Are you insulting turkeys? I'm like, it's just, it's ridiculous.
Yeah, so a lot of companies are like, we don't even want to play the game, but they're forcing you to play it.
I like McDonald's. What about Burger King and Taco Bell? Educate yourself.
Oh, you must be a racist because you don't like Taco Bell.
That's right. Yeah. Exactly, like that.
So, it's just, somebody was saying on Twitter that there was a conversation that came up about Chick-fil-A. Like somebody wanted to go to lunch at Chick-fil-A at some tech company, and they wrote them up or something.
They wrote them up for going to Chick-fil-A.
For going to Chick-fil-A, because Chick-fil-A,
right, but what if you just like Chick-fil-A?
You're clearly homophobic if you like Chick-fil-A.
Okay,
even if you don't know anything about the controversy, you can Google that.
Some people don't even know or don't care, don't know that there's a problem.
We're not going to talk about that here, but you can Google the controversy around Chick-fil-A. So anyway,
Not even anymore.
Why do more companies not stay apolitical? Because they're forced by Twitter, by their peers, not by the public. The public would love it.
Maybe the public needs to start forcing them to not be political.
The public would love it if these people would just shut up
do their damn job.
Do their job. They would love it. People are just at the point where they're just like, I can't even get a damn hamburger without having to hear about
If you want to be an activist and be about politics all the time, then go get your own show. Go get your own platform and use that.
Yep.
Go quit your job and then spend your whole day at home. Oh, that's what they're angling for, because pretty soon with socialism, you can stay at home and do whatever the hell you want and you'll get paid for it. Let's see how the companies fare then.
Yeah, I am a firm believer in the free market, and I think that the public is going to be the ones that decide, how much politics is enough. And I think after this year, people on both sides of the aisle are going to be completely burnt out.
I agree.
On it.
And extremism is bad no matter which side it's on.
Yep. So we're going to wrap this one up.
Yep.
Please subscribe for more pop culture news, views, and rants. We'll talk to you guys later.
Bye.